All right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started today. So thanks to everybody who's attending today. And we will be recording this presentation and it'll be available on our YouTube channel. We'll be promoting that on our social pages as well. And make sure that if anybody you know that wasn't able to attend, please go ahead and ask them to give it a look. And you can also see our other previous programs there as well. So I'm Terry Mooney. I'm the current president of AAF Orlando. I'm actually going to be, this is the end of my board year. So the new board is going to be taking over on July 1st, and it's going to be a great year. We've got a lot of great programs already sketched out and a lot of great activities that the club is going to bring. So I hope that you all stay involved and make sure you keep up with us again on our social pages and by signing up for our email newsletter right on the front page of our website. So today we are very happy to have this program for you. And first, a little bit about AAF Orlando. So AAF Orlando is a member of the American Advertising Federation's 4th district. The 4th district encompasses the entire state of Florida and the Caribbean. So we're a very large and very active district for the American Advertising Federation. And we have two organizations. We have the AAF Orlando, and then we have our subchapter of Add2 Orlando, which is really intended to be a division for those in their early stage of their career, whether they be straight out of college or maybe they've made a career change in their life and they're just getting started. So we also have that as well. And of course, if you're in business, then you're in advertising. Everybody knows that. All of us in advertising and marketing, we represent a wide variety and a large number of businesses as we help them to succeed. So we represent every major industry and individual affiliated with advertising or marketing throughout Central Florida. If you're not a member of AAF Orlando, please check us out at aaf-orlando.org or just shoot us an email at info@aaforlando.org. We'd love to talk to you about membership and the benefits. And we're always looking for members to make our club better and stronger. And we're always looking for volunteers to help us as well, further our cause to our members and to the community at large as well. So Add2 is one of two Add2 chapters in the 4th district. The other one is Tampa. There are 19 chapters nationwide. Again, it's for the young and early stage professionals. And becoming a part of Add2, you can do more to further yourself and your career, your skills, and the industry as well. So if you're listening today and this applies to you, please consider joining Add2 Orlando as well. And we would love to talk to you about that. We'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Spectrum Reach, always a great supporter of AAF and AAF Orlando, Push Button Creative Audio, Yash and John. Their dedication and commitment as individuals to AAF has just been ongoing for many, many years, and they've both done a lot to really help the organization, both in AAF Orlando and the 4th district and nationally. John is now the incoming governor. So that's just tremendous. Thank you guys. And thank you for your business help, Push Button Creative Audio, podcasts, radio spots, whatever you need in creative audio. Outfront Media, outdoor specialist company, Adrenaline Films, film production and video, Concrete Lion, film production and video. Thank you guys. The PR Breakthrough Bootcamp presented by AMPR. If you guys want to know anything about the basics and the essentials of public relations, you might want to consider the PR Breakthrough Bootcamp presented by AMPR. And if you're interested in becoming an AAF Orlando sponsor, please email us at info@aaf-orlando.org, or you can just reach out to me as well. Love to talk to you about that. Today we have a great presentation that's going to be presented by our great friends at MNI Targeted Media. We have Matt Fanelli, Senior Vice President of Digital Sales and Operations. Matt is a very accomplished and results-oriented Senior Vice President. He's excelled in the field of digital media management, and he currently manages a team of 25 professionals overseeing multiple departments that all have to do with digital media. So we're glad to have that knowledge and skill set with us today. Today, Matt is going to be presenting on conversion campaigns using AI modeling. So we all know that artificial intelligence is no longer just something for the future. So after years of development, AI technologies, including modeling, are quickly becoming essential tactics to ad targeting, media buying, content creation, and more. So today, Matt is going to help us learn how to deploy and maintain sophisticated and scalable AI modeling that will deliver great results. So it sounds like it's going to be a very informative, very timely. So we're really happy to have Matt today, and we want to thank MNI Targeted Media as well for volunteering to do this program for us today. Again, if you have questions during Matt's presentation, please just put them in the chat, and we're going to address them after he's done. Should be maybe a 30-minute program from Matt, so not too long. So sit back and relax, and I'm going to turn it over to Matt.
Thank you so much, Terry, and thank you all so much for being on this call today. I greatly appreciate it. Just bear with me 1 second, and I am going to...
Matt, did anybody hear me?
What's that? Give me 1 second. There. Terry, thank you so much. And thank you all for participating this afternoon, probably during your lunch break. I promise I will keep this as concise as possible.
Matt, you might be muted.
No, I'm not muted. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome. Sorry, guys. All of a sudden, thanks, Leanne. I was concerned that something happened to the microphone in my computer. The wonders of technology never cease to amaze. But again, thank you all for participating here this afternoon. I myself have done several presentations for the AAF Orlando. I'm always excited when I'm invited back, and I do appreciate everyone's time during their lunch hour. Artificial in advertising, as Terry kind of teed this up and said, it is happening every single day. It is permeated through really every corner of our lives at this point. And for many people, just the mention of artificial intelligence really starts to kind of summon these images of robots running around and taking over the world. For any of you that saw the Will Smith movie, I, Robot, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But the reality is, today's AI is really the ability of machines to learn from experience and perform tasks that was once only possible for us to do as humans. It's already a reality, it's already here, and it really truly is full of possibilities to enrich and improve all of our lives, right? You know, as I travel the country and do WebExes, you know, I always ask how many folks have endless amounts of time on their hands, you know, who has free time, and across the board, no one ever says I do. And that's why artificial intelligence is really important. It's about improving our daily lives. In fact, behind most online ads that everyone is currently seeing are really sophisticated delivery systems that are powered by some type of an artificial intelligence technology. This is all that idea and concept of predictive analytics, which we'll unpack in a little bit. But these systems are not just placing the right ads in front of people, but it's happening in real time. It's largely automatic. And in the way that it's happening, you know, depending on how it's being done, it's not just getting in front of the right people, it's getting in front of the right people at the right time, in the right place, in the right mindset, based off of what has been learned. So what is artificial intelligence? And for everyone that I talk to, it means many different things to many different people. But at its core, as I said, it's the ability of machines to emulate that human thinking, reasoning, and decision-making. One of the key building blocks of artificial intelligence has really been part of the technological world since the 1950s. Most people are shocked when I share this stat, but the truth is it's been around since the 1950s. And that's when the earliest programmers asked computers to make sense of very large sets of data, right? That was when that whole data collection process really started. And programmers across the board have increasingly refined the ability of machines to study data in order to detect patterns that allow computers to then organize that information, identify relationships between it, make predictions, and really detect anomalies. So think about things like banking fraud, credit card information. Even though my mom, God love her, thinks, someone at Chase Manhattan Bank is viewing her credit card usage every single day, that's all based on artificial intelligence to look for any anomalies and to detect them, right? That's the basis of all of it. Today, all of these modern applications of AI have already given us things like self-driving cars, virtual assistants. They've helped us detect fraud and manage resources like electricity more efficiently, right? Think of our Nest thermostats. Look at the future of automotive and vehicles. A Tesla updates and does fixes overnight, just like our iPhones do. Really, really impressive. And the technology is there. Harnessing that from a marketing and advertising perspective is here, and it's here right now. We do this on every single one of our targeted advertising campaigns as they exist today. Now, to some, is it clever technology or is it intrusive? And that's really a personal decision, but either way, it's here to stay, right? To quote Elon Musk for a second, right? Elon Musk states that artificial intelligence is a technology that does have a capacity to enslave us. It doesn't tire of ringing the alarm bell. And according to a report commissioned by Weber Shandwick, even if AI-fueled machines never quite ascend to the rulers of the universe that Elon Musk would like them to ascend to, there is still plenty of people, in fact, it's about 82% of consumers, who believe that AI directly influences their purchase decision-making process. Think about that for a second. 82%. These folks see artificial intelligence as a technology that's really poised to free us from the burden of having to search for things and look for things. At a minimum, it's essential to improving economic productivity, right? Because the reality is, and think about this for yourselves, do any of you have endless amounts of time on your hands? Do you have tons of free time to sit back leisurely and research things? Most people don't. The power of artificial intelligence is harnessing that data and that targeting to deliver up that information to us at the right time when we are in the right mindset to make sure that it is having an impact on our daily lives. And when we look at our daily lives, it is often said that AI is the future of marketing. What people don't immediately recognize, and Terry said this as part of the tee-up, is that AI is already an integral part of the entire digital ecosystem. Think about booking a service appointment on your vehicle. A lot of you may be doing that through a digital virtual assistant. And that's not just in automotive, that's in a wide variety of categories. Think about stuff like recommender systems. You purchase this, now you probably need that to go with it. I recently, just this past past winter, living in the Northeast, had to purchase a new snowblower, and I got a battery operated one. Well, the recommender system that's built behind the site that I purchased it from said, well, you bought the snowblower, now these are the ion batteries that you need. Predictive analytics from a performance perspective through our OmniPoint first-party performance data warehouse, we utilize artificial intelligence and predictive analytics to be able to predict the results of each and every campaign that we run. Computer vision, social conversations and the monitoring of them from a brand perspective. What does that mean? For everyone that works in advertising, marketing, sales, customer service, there really is a good chance that you're using some form of AI during every single day. Whether you're a marketer applying predictive algorithms to optimize that creative messaging, or you're a customer service manager that's employing chatbots to answer questions. It's become a fact of life inside the 21st century office, right? And we're all experiencing it more and more. And even on the weekends, right, when we're not working, the apps that we're using to stream music, play games, connect with friends, are really harnessing that power of machine learning to provide what's coined as a personalized user experience. It's all about that personalized experience. There is a trifecta of things that occur, right, in the consumer mindset. And that trifecta really quickly is we have more choices than we've had ever before. Just for a quick example, average American supermarket, 186 choices for cold cereal. We have the lowest attention spans we've ever had. Year 2000 attention spans were 12 seconds, end of last year down to 3, less than the attention span of a goldfish. And the average American household, we have 13 connected devices between our laptops, our smartphones, our iPads, and the things that we quote unquote call televisions, which at this point are just giant monitors that are hanging on our walls. So as a marketer and an advertiser, how do you break through that trifecta? That is through data and targeting that is being harnessed by artificial intelligence. And it's seeing it all the way through the funnel to conversion. So what are some of those marketing examples? And what are just a handful of the most commonly used AI marketing tactics, right? Rather than running and hiding, marketers are laying the groundwork to figure out how do we incorporate artificial intelligence into our organization. And these are just a few applications. I mean, the list, as you can imagine, goes on and on. It's search engines, right? And when you think about search as a advertising and a deployment vehicle for conversions, search really captures an existing demand while display is inspiring that demand amongst your audience. Within search engines, AI is empowering those results, right, within the search engines to generate results, even if the user can't exactly articulate what they're looking for. It helps to pre-fill and auto-populate to help them figure it out. Programmatic advertising. Every programmatic campaign is leveraging a bunch of different algorithms that allows you through data and targeting to serve up that right ad at the right moment. Image advertising, exposing the right relevant images, visuals, right, to your consumers and to your audience. That all relies on a machine learning technique, which is neural networks to interpret user interest. Think about if you work on travel and tourism based campaigns. You know, let's say as an example, you know, I'm looking for a beach destination and AI knows that that's what I'm looking for my family. Well, serving up really great beach imagery is what's going to resonate with me and help break through the clutter. Think about audio and streaming audio. Siri, Google Assistant, Alexa have tons of everyday applications. From an audio perspective, these virtual assistants that we have brought into our homes, their job is to sit and listen and to collect, right? And figure out what does that look like for us, right? And it gets smarter as it learns, right, what's in our household. Really, really important to mention. Additionally, where we see the uses of artificial intelligence, it really impacts the way business is done in ways that are clear in a lot of cases, but in some cases, they're not so obvious to us. Mobile use, voice to text is enabled by AI interpretation of voice patterns. Every time we are doing voice to text, that is based on artificial intelligence. Social networking, it enables personalization of those users' news feeds, right? What are they interested in? Ride sharing, it anticipates rider demand and helps the organizations, be it Uber or Lyft, to determine pricing. Education, and I know I have 5 children from my oldest, and you know, all of these kids are now really aware of it. Teachers are running, you know, assignments on papers and things that they need to submit that actually flag it for plagiarism, all based on artificial intelligence. Mobile banking, right? where you can do check deposits to decipher handwriting from the comfort of your home. Commuting, think of programs like Waze, Google Maps. It's all real time based off of navigating traffic. And it helps to determine what are the best routes and those arrival times. It is permeating through the things that sometimes we recognize and a lot of cases in the things we don't recognize. And AI is, to a certain degree, going to help really rescue us in the cookieless world, right? And whatever that means, because that is coming, right? Where the reliance and the use on cookies is going to wane to a certain degree. We're reading about it all the time. So when you think about that, AI enables omni-channel resolution, where we're matching offline and online channels across devices, helps to integrate across those channels to really target by using anonymous identifiers within compliance of the new IDFA regulations. Contextual targeting, which has always been there. AI is going to help integrate that data from a contextual relevance without utilizing cookies. Conversion modeling and marketing attribution are really going to be fueled by artificial intelligence to get a better view of that consumer journey, right? When we think about those things, the power is really going to be in that first party data. And I know I got a question already about first party data, and I'll get to those questions at the end. But AI is going to be a way to really harness this as cookies start to crumble. And what I will say is, for us at M&I Targeted Media, we've never just relied on cookies from a targeting perspective. That has been one approach to targeting, but there are many, many others. It's predictive analytics through artificial intelligence. It's through contextual targeting. It's through things like IP, Wi-Fi, triangulation, right? There's a wide variety of areas where artificial intelligence is going to gain more mainstream importance. Securing first-party data and harmonizing it with AI. Getting the data, right? Collecting data as people are going onto your sites or your client sites. That's the first step. The second step there is going to be, how are you organizing that data? So with data coming from different sources and platforms, organizing is not going to happen on its own, right? It's going to take a process of data harmonization to optimize what that data is, the performance, the outcome, how you want to invest in that data. And what I mean by that is, once you have this process done and you're collecting data, it's a process called data mining and understanding what that data is that you have, how it can be packaged, how can it be used, and most importantly, are you within data compliance? And part of that is, once you have that data collected, how do you improve that lookalike targeting within compliance? What does that look like? Well, with AI, there really are no data restraints. It's going to enable the processing of up to millions of data points in real time to help develop those algorithms. So when we take a glance at lookalike audiences, they consist mostly of users that are sharing like-minded attributes of your existing customer base. It's also a way to keep engaging your most loyal customers to have a deeper, more meaningful relationship with them as they enter the funnel. And it's, how do we learn to retarget customers, right, and consumers and drive more consideration? So it's twofold. How do I get more of my best clients, and how do I retain the ones that I have, right, without creating a lot of waste and minimizing that waste? I mean, as I ask in group sessions, how many people have endless amounts of money to spend on their marketing and advertising campaigns? No one ever raises their hand, right? Because everyone needs to prove the efficiency and the efficacy of every single coveted dollar that they're spending. Breaking through that clutter of that trifecta and harnessing the power of artificial intelligence to have a deeper, more meaningful relationship with your existing customer base and find more people like that is the highlight of importance. So when we look at that sales funnel, right, the sales funnel has three pretty distinct areas. It's awareness, consideration, and conversion. AI can isolate prospects in the sales funnel. It's really hard to gauge intent without action, and that's important, right? How do you gauge the intent of someone without any action? If a prospect hasn't clicked on something or gone to your website or filled in a form, How can you know whether they're really kind of just a tire kicker or whether they're ready to hand over money to your business? How do you even know they're a prospect in the first place? AI can really help to pre-qualify that prospect based on their behavior, right? The other things that they've done and those other data points rather than just the input, right? And it's automatically going to look at things like social media, internet forums to identify where they could potentially be in that sales process based on what they're saying. AI can also serve up those targeted product packages. It allows businesses to dynamically target offerings, plans, pricing, additional products that are going to be suited to specific individuals. That's what's important. The end result needs to be personalized, relevant, and what I always like to call friction-free. We need to make it easy. We have low attention spans and a lot of things going off in front of our faces. How do we make it friction-free that will result in a conversion for us? AI also lets us optimize for urgency and loyalty. If you're looking to convert or retain customers, AI really delivers the goods here, right? Through things like I mentioned, predictive analytics in the system, right? It can dynamically adjust when an offer is made, as well as the terms around that offer, depending on your business. Sometimes a percentage discount can be offered up to drive that conversion for a certain user, right? Or maybe it's a limited time offer. It can really handle all of that previous manual A/B testing to deliver an optimized outcome without tons and tons of tedious experimentation. That's not just tedious and difficult to follow, but also very costly. AI is really the difference between getting ahead and lagging behind. AI delivers that value to businesses and consumers really across all parts of the funnel. So between awareness to consideration to conversion, right? At the interest stage, it serves up targeted information that's going to increase the likelihood and the speed of that conversion. At the retention stage, it's very timely and it provides those personalized offers that maximize speed and loyalty. So you may say, well, how does that work, right? And how do we do it? And how do folks in the space do it? Well, the way that we do that is we really have to start with reimagining business with AI modeling. It's continually pushing and pulling potential customers throughout the whole purchase funnel and what that looks like. AI can be really intimidating to a lot of folks. It doesn't need to be anymore because it really is kind of table stakes at this point. And AI modeling, which is AIM, makes it easy to really analyze data across the profiles to hyper-personalize that customer experience. So the first step is understanding your current customers. How are you feeding that prospect pool? How do you retarget those potential customers? And then how do you convert new ones? And you continue to repeat this. This all starts with performance-based targeting. And it's placing that pixel and that information within data compliance, right? For prospecting and for retargeting to drive that performance. By combining these two tactics, there's this innate ability to drive mid-funnel conversions to feed and extend that lower funnel pool of your best customers. We can then take this larger audience and gain those additional insights and find more lookalikes, right? At the same time, you're ushering them through this mid-funnel prospect to get them to convert. So we're prospecting against them, we're finding the prospects and we're retargeting, converting, prospecting, retargeting, and converting. As those converters are fed into the AI algorithm, then it continues to get fine-tuned based on those predictive behaviors, and they get propensity scores based on where they are. Now, we can literally track, and you guys can track every conversion or every dollar driven with these measurement solutions. It's everything through cart amount, where that pixel is placed on an order, on that order confirmation page, where we're tracking all the way through to the return on ad spend or cost per checkout. It's looking at site visits, lead gen throughout the site, right? So there's a very actionable piece of information as we run them through this funnel to see, are they purchasing online and what is that cart amount? Or did they visit the site? Did they generate a lead for the business? highly, highly important as we're looking to maximize every single dollar that's being spent. And AI makes advertising better. First and foremost, it provides a more effective ad personalization. Customer service levels improve here. A new bar is set. Actually, 25% of customer service is going to be chatbot technology by the end of 2021, which when we look at what that was in 2017, it was 2% in 2017. Adopting AI enables marketers and advertisers to purchase better impressions, more targeted impressions. 44% of businesses are saying that they're looking for AI to help them mitigate their risk of purchasing bad impressions. Big brands currently right now are adapting AI to foster that customer loyalty. Every piece of research indicates that if you lose an existing customer, you have to spend 8 times the amount of money to actually get that customer back. That's right, 8 times the amount of money. And last but certainly not least, it's about optimizing those results. Generally speaking, you need a mix, right, of 3 sets of skills. People who have AI product knowledge, business people with marketing experience, and data engineers. It really culminates around reaching the right people at the right time in the right mindset to complete a predetermined desired action. That is the goal. It's maximizing, improving the efficiency and the efficacy of every single dollar that's being spent. And what I would say is we always look at it from the approach of seeing what others don't. And it really truly is a way of reimagining the way that business has been done in the past, right? And always through the consumer lens. Ultimately, regardless of your business or your service or what you're working on, it's about making the cash register ring. It's about growing that business. And oftentimes we are caught in this cycle of getting new customers, right? And chasing new. And we tend to neglect or forget our existing customer base. And if you think about it from your own perspective, we're all very fickle. We change what we do. We need to take a step back and figure out through harnessing technology, right? And data and artificial intelligence, how do we have a deeper, more meaningful relationship with our existing customer base? And what does that look like? So with that, I am going to open up the QA and see, I have a couple of questions here, and then I'll open it up to any others, and then I'll turn it back over to Terry. But one of the first questions that I have is, hi, Matthew, you mentioned your first party data warehouse. How are you gathering your first party data? So the way that we gather our first party data, it's an artificial intelligence predictive analytics system. It is called OmniPoint. It is unique to us. It is a system that we started the process of building this out, my gosh, at this point, at least 8 years ago. And what we have the ability to do is, within an anonymized fashion, within data compliance, through our server, right, and all of the campaigns that we serve, we have the ability to break up all of those campaigns based on 5 criteria. The category of the campaign, the audience target, the type of creative that we're running, the success metric of the campaign, and the geography. So what happens is, through this predictive analytics system, let's say you're working on a healthcare account in Orlando, Florida, and you have video, and the metric for success is a video completion. We have the ability to leverage that data across thousands of campaigns to say, based on that audience and all of those other parameters, this is the best environment or the best tactics for this particular campaign. Great, great question. Second question that I got is, do you find that there are limitations with utilizing AI and machine learning when it comes to advertising for security sensitive industries? So what I will say is, Jill, it depends on the level of how you're using AI. So from a data perspective, right, there isn't necessarily high security. There is from a pixel perspective. So if the brand is trying to collect data, because a lot of our clients are doing some level of artificial intelligence on their own, the categories that you laid out are all over the place. What I would say is there are limitations there specific to finance where there are security information, right? Like social security numbers for online credit applications, et cetera. That is where they would need to be referred back to their counsel and what they're comfortable with as a brand. Same thing with healthcare as it pertains to HIPAA. Just need to be very, very careful of that, right? And what that looks like. Looking to see if there's any other follow-up question to the first-party data warehouse. So are you putting your past clients campaign into a DMP and then leveraging it on future campaigns, clarification past campaign data? So the answer to that is yes, and our clients are agreeing to that, right? We're never taking that information. We're never sharing that it was this brand and these were their results, right? We do have some clients that say, even though you guys are serving the campaign, we don't want to be put into that mix. And in a lot of cases where we're doing any level, because we also do a level of client data ingestion where we're targeting their clients, that is all housed on an individualized secured server, and that is never mingled with anyone else. So it is all non-identifiable data. And I think, guys, thank you for the questions. I appreciate that. Oh, I did get one more. How can you start integrating AI with current campaigns, particularly when it comes to loyalty? Well, one way to do that is, I would say from the brand perspective, is to take a look at, right, what data do you have collected? Are you within compliance? And how do you have, or do you have the ability to push that data out, right, through some level of CRM ingestion, where we can wrap that with some type of artificial intelligence, specifically a predictive analytics system from a performance perspective to get loyalty. We work with several accounts right now where we do this, right? Where they are within compliance, right? They will push that data to us, and then we will deliver up very specific advertising messages to upsell specific around things when they know that some of their clients' contracts are going to be up. So that's just one example there. Would you disclose how many data sets you have over the years that you have access? In terms of data sets, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by data sets. But the answer is we are transparent. We comply with every regulatory body that there is, you know, and anything that's been pushed out from GDPR to CCPA to PII to data compliance. So the answer is yes. If we're looking for the data providers that we work with, we have a complete list of those. So with that, Terry, I think I got through all the questions. I do want to turn it back over to you to see if any closing comments that you may have.
Thank you, Matt. Actually, they're sneaking in some more questions if you have another 2 minutes, if you don't mind. From Jill, she says, can you speak on what
got it. Can you speak on what type of reporting is available with AI campaigns? That reporting is going to be customized based on the strategy of the campaign and what that looks like. So the answer is there is a wide variety of reporting, everything through conversion based on AI, right? Did we actually get them to convert? To did we get them to do a lead? Did we just get them to visit the website? So that is actually something, Jill, depending on the campaign that you're working on. And Scott, I see your follow-up question as well. Those are things that Janice, right in your location, and Mark would be happy to help with on an individualized campaign basis, because that's going to change just based on strategy and type of client. Awesome. Back over to you, Terry.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Matt. That was,
thank you.
Yeah, that was that was great. Obviously, a lot of information in this rapidly changing world, and like you described, right? Everybody is nervous at the crumbling of the cookies. I like that. I'm going to use that. Thank you. And what that's going to mean, and certainly, you know, for agencies and marketers, what, now how do we approach these campaigns and what do we tell our clients, right? Because our clients are the ones obviously who are most concerned about what's happening on that front. So, all of these things happening with AI to kind of that you've already described already have been here for quite a while now, just getting more sophisticated and getting more ingrained into these marketing systems. That's going to, I guess I don't want to say it's going to, make the cookie world not matter, but certainly it's going to make advertising, as it seems to be always moving towards, much more targeted, much more direct, much more impactful per dollar spent, which is what everybody wants to see and what everybody wants to hear. So that's great. Thanks for this very, very informative presentation. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. I look forward to the next one.
And so just another couple of words to thank everybody for attending today, and thanks for your questions and for being engaged in this presentation. As Matt said, you can get in touch with Janice or Mark at MNI Targeted Media if you guys want to talk to them in more detail and see what's happening with them. If you feel like you might want to partner up, that'd be awesome. And please, if anybody on here not a member of AAF Orlando, we would love to have you. So please check out our website, aaf-orlando.org. You can read about what the club is. You can get in touch with me directly. I'd love to have a conversation about that. If you are a member, then please consider volunteering with the club, because that helps us as we move from board year to board year, makes the club better and stronger, and just really helps build our strength in the greater Orlando community. So thanks again to everybody who attended. Thank you, MNI Targeted Media, and thanks a lot, Matt. And we'll see you guys at our next program.
Thank you all. Stay safe and stay well.